Okay, so what was your most fun experience with
The
ESP?
Holland Family Foundation, the Brothers Trust, has donated to Java Joy. And Brittany and I went with Laura and Carter Strickland and his wife and Alex and 2 participants. And I want to talk about Nikki because in the middle of the posh pub trivia that Tom Holland, aka Spider-Man, is hosting,
Yes.
Nikki gets on stage to sing My Heart Will Go On
Yes, he did.
with Tom Holland. And it was one of the happiest moments I've ever had with 200 people in a room.
Yes.
Everyone just had the biggest smiles, and Nikki stole the show.
He did.
As he typically does. And it was just pure joy.
Hey, it's good to see you. I am so excited about today's conversation here at the SEEABILITY watchcast. I am here with Chris Sjogren, who is the president of Loverly Gray, one of our national board members, and helped us launch the SEEABILITY brand. Loverly Gray believes that style should be anything but boring and that confidence comes when you step into who you are truly meant to be. And that definitely aligns with us here at SEEABILITY. So Chris, I'm so happy you're here.
So happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us. Let's kick things off. So can you tell us a little bit more about Loverly Gray, how it came to life, where it stands today? You guys have 1.6 million followers on Instagram, which is wild.
Yes.
And they're all cheering you on. We're cheering you on. Just tell us a little bit more about what you do and how it started.
So Loverly Gray started as a hobby.
Okay.
In 2000 and end of 15.
Wow.
We had just gotten married, and my job, before I worked for Loverly Gray, started to take me to travel a little bit. And while I was traveling, Brittany was like, I want to start this blog as kind of like a hobby. She had always been complimented about how she dresses, her workwear. Everyone always kind of loved what she wore. And I was like, okay, great. Yeah, start a hobby. I'm going to be traveling a lot. This will be great. Little did I know, I was getting a new hobby of photographer.
Oh, the husband photographer. Yes.
Back when the influencer space was much smaller, so a lot of the husbands knew each other, and we were all complaining to each other about all the photos we were taking. Since then, obviously, the company's gotten a lot bigger. Our lives have changed a ton since then. We've obviously had our children. We've moved to Athens. We've had the pleasure of meeting you and ESP, gotten involved there. Our team is now 15 employees. We have our own podcast, Life with Loverly, and we just continue to grow and look at different ways that we can expand our branding.
Okay, so from a hobby to a full-fledging company that you're now the president of, and you work with your wife every single day.
I do.
What is it like to work with your wife every day? Is it as fun as you guys make it out to be?
So when she first started, and the company started to make money, it was a lot of the business side of it she didn't want to deal with. So while I still had my corporate job, I kind of just did it.
Okay.
Well, that sounds great in theory. When your wife is the one driving the revenue and you're the one having to account for it and make decisions based off of it, the conversations can be a little hard sometimes about, hey, probably not the best idea to do this, or hey, financially, that doesn't make the most sense. But also, as a visionary, you got to let her breathe and see the space and see things through. It's funny, I get labeled as the negative guy when I'm like, no, I'm an Enneagram 6. I'm just trying to be protective. I'm just, trying to watch out for everybody. And it works out well because with my Enneagram and hers,
What is her Enneagram?
She is a 3.
Yeah, I could have guessed it. Can you guess what I am?
Yeah.
I'm a 3. Yes. I have loved being able to personally and professionally watch Brittany grow communities, whether it's online or here at ESP. When we launched the Everyday collection, Brittany put the pink sweatshirt on her Instagram, and immediately, when we were at the beach, all of the college girls were wearing their pink sweatshirt. And it's building community and camaraderie. And I think that's really beautiful. I also
And building trust.
Trust.
The big thing that we've learned, especially with a business of this size, is yes, you can go the route of like post everything, but we value our followers to the point where we're not posting something we don't believe in. We're not posting products. We're not posting SEEABILITY. We're not posting something that we don't want to be a part of. So our community knows that. So if we post something, they know it means something to us. We stand by it. We're for it. And that matters.
It does matter because then people know, okay, this is an organization that is going to do something with the funds of that sweatshirt.
Yes.
And if Brittany and Chris believe in this organization, then we believe in this organization. And I think that's really, really important because there's a lot of ads out there.
There is.
And a lot of people telling you to buy a lot of different things.
There's a new product every day.
Every day. Yeah, that's right. So tell us about Poshmark, because I think that's another community that you guys have been able to grow and another way for you to give back. So tell me a little bit more about that.
So one thing with the company, being a fashion model, blog, I don't like the term influencer, but we'll call her an influencer.
Yeah.
We get a lot of clothes.
A lot of clothes.
Our closet is humbling, to say the least.
Yeah.
But one thing we've strived to do, we are very pro giving back. It's been kind of the company motto since it started. Even before that, we were very charitable. But what we do is if a product is no longer available, if it's no longer something she's going to wear anymore, anything like that, it goes on her Poshmark site. We take every dime of those proceeds and we donate them back to charity. It's been very special because we've been able to help some of our employees have said, hey, this charity means a lot to me. So we said, you know what, that month, it's going to them. Or when Augusta had the real bad storm last year, we had friends who had different GoFundMe set up that were either followers or friends of employees. We were able to help them out during their time of need. And giving back's just always kind of been a thing that Brittany and I see eye to eye on and something that we take very seriously. And we want to show, especially the girls, because we do get a lot of clothes, we want to show them that you can still do good even with, what you have.
Yeah, it's so cool. And it makes me think of that Luke 12 scripture that says to seek his kingdom. And then right after that, it's like, go sell your possessions and give it to the poor. It's like, go do something with what you have. That's how you seek the kingdom, is to do something with what you have. And I know before I knew Brittany, I thought to myself, where is all those clothes going? Because she's just getting, how many boxes do you think have been delivered to your house or to your business over the course of 1 year? I mean, I'm just curious.
I couldn't even give you a number.
Millions, probably.
I don't know about millions, but it's well above thousands.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. That's a lot of cardboard.
It's every day. And she does one of our pet peeves. Everyone in a marriage has pet peeves about the other partner.
Tell us about them.
She doesn't like to break up the boxes, and that drives me nuts.
I'm the same way.
I don't know what it is, but they just don't like to break them up. And with the amount of boxes we get, I'm like, please, we cannot fit this in the recycling.
Right. You know what it is? It's the fact that the thing in the box is so exciting for us that we are done with the box. We just want to see the thing in the box. So,
I get it.
And then there's amazing people like you who will break down the box for us.
Sometimes.
So with your girls, you mentioned they are watching, like, what are you doing with all these clothes? And you want them to see you doing something, giving back to your community. What do you think it's communicating to those two beautiful little blonde girls as they see their mom empowering women as a visionary, growing a business with fashion, with community? What is that communicating to your girls?
So it's funny. They're starting to be old enough to kind of understand. I think Collins knows Loverly Gray now.
Okay.
So she's like, Mom, why are you Loverly Gray? You're Mom or Brittany.
Hey.
So that's starting to be conversations we're having.
Yeah.
Which is not something I ever thought I'd be doing as a parent, but here we are. And we're trying to raise them to do the right things. That's one of the biggest reasons I bring them here to the playground so they can see everyone of different abilities and show that we're all children of God, regardless of, what your abilities are, and to respect that and to not make it where they are 15 years old, 20 years old, and never had any interactions.
Yeah.
Where then it's that awkward teenage stage where you're dealing with it. It's like, hey, if we start them at a young age, they just grow up with it and it's normalizing it. And that's one of the biggest reasons we've kind of partnered with ESP is to normalize this, because the numbers speak for themselves.
They do. And we often get this question of dads and moms that don't have kids with disabilities that are like, how do I help my kids to be kind and to be inclusive and accepting and a good friend and compassionate? And I think what we have seen is exactly what you and Brittany are doing. It takes experiencing it.
Yes. And at a young age, they don't know any better.
Right.
They're just kids on a playground.
Yes.
Whether it's a participant here or not, they just see another kid on the playground.
Yes.
And they all just play. The best part of childhood is innocence. Mm. And if you introduce them at this innocent age, it's just normal.
Yes.
And they don't see anything different. They're just like, yeah, whatever. And then we're just playing on the swing.
And then what we know research tells us is then it builds this positive neural cycle that then once they interact with someone with autism that may talk differently or someone in a wheelchair that has cerebral palsy, what we know is if there's a positive neural cycle built out there on the playground with your girls, they're going to continue to include people of all abilities throughout the trajectory of your life. But it's our responsibility as parents to help them build those positive neural cycles. One of the things I have learned about you is you have a lot of different abilities. I mean, business acumen. I've been able to watch you on our national board. I've been able to watch you have an eye for design too. It's not just Brittany. But also you have incredible athletic abilities. And so you just did something pretty remarkable. Tell everyone what you just did and what your anthem was throughout it.
So this journey I was on started 6 years ago.
Okay.
Actually, it started 7 years ago. My brother ran the New York City Marathon. And Brittany and I went. This was pre-kids. We went to spectate, cheer him on. He was running for Boston Children's Hospital.
Okay.
And he finishes. He does a great job. But I'm competitive. And I said, well, I could beat his time. I could definitely do this, and I can do it faster. Uh-huh. So that night, I signed up for the Chicago Marathon.
That night?
That night.
Okay.
And while there, I came across this medal, and it had 6 little circles on it. And I said, that's what I'm going to do.
No.
I said, I'm gonna get those. So what it is there's major marathons. It's Chicago, Boston, New York, London, Berlin, Tokyo.
Okay.
You run all 6 of those across the world, you get a special medal. And maybe a banana and a water when you cross the finish line.
Right.
Being from outside of Boston, I was always strategically planning on doing Boston last. And I was able to get into that race. And as of a week ago, I ran that race. I got my last star, they call it, the 6 stars. And I got my fancy little medal.
Let's see it. You brought it.
Retired. It's
there it is, right there.
Oh, look at that. So yeah, I got my fancy little medal.
That is so cool.
So it's got all the cities in order: Tokyo, Boston, London, Berlin, Chicago, New York. And I said, yeah, I'm going to get that.
Oh my gosh. I think sometimes when we look at certain people with a certain ability and they have a concentrated version of that ability, let's just say like public speaking, or they have a natural ability to a warmth that brings people to them. And we may have that ability, but it may not be as concentrated. And so all of a sudden we're like, I don't have that ability. Like we compare ourselves because they have more of something than we have. And I think sometimes that prevents us from activating the abilities within ourselves. And I love that you were just like, I'm just going to go for it. And you grew the ability along the way.
Comparison is a thief of joy.
Totally.
If you start comparing yourself to other people, you don't know their circumstances. I started training, had literally no idea what I was doing. So I ran Chicago, I ran London, did it by myself. After London, I decided to hire a running coach. Mm. He was also, Brittany doesn't like this, I call him my therapist.
Truly.
But
my hairdresser is also my therapist. Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Yeah.
She's like, that doesn't count. I'm like, well, it kind of counts. Because, and he always says perfectly, he goes, no matter what the clock says at the end of the race is a celebration for all the work you put into it leading up to it. Mm. So celebrate it, enjoy it. And with the last race in Boston, I actually didn't run as fast as I ran in Tokyo, but I enjoyed the heck out of it.
I love that. So tell us your most meaningful experience with ESP.
I'll tell you the most meaningful and the most fun.
Okay.
So most meaningful was the first gala we went to. When we heard the parents talking, and I'll never forget it because the parents flat out said their child was a little over 10 and they hadn't been on a date since the child was born. He was nonverbal. He was confined to a wheelchair. And then they were invited to ESP and the child went to overnight camp. And it was the first time that the parents were able to actually go on a date and not worry because they were with ESP and knew the child was taken care of. Seeing the joy of the mom and dad when they got the videos of their son playing in the pool.
Yeah.
And it was a no-brainer to get more involved.
Okay, so what was your most fun experience with ESP?
The Holland Family Foundation, the Brothers Trust, has donated to Java Joy. And Brittany and I went with Laura and Carter Strickland and his wife and Alex and 2 participants. And I want to talk about Nikki because in the middle of the posh pub trivia that Tom Holland, aka Spider-Man, is hosting.
Yes.
Nikki gets on stage to sing My Heart Will Go On.
Yes, he did.
With Tom Holland. And it was one of the happiest moments I've ever had with 200 people in a room.
Yes.
Everyone just had the biggest smiles and Nikki stole the show.
He did.
As he typically does. And it was just pure joy.
It was really amazing. I was actually writing about this the other day and how like stuffy it was before that. And, you know, you have all these black ties and people are just uncomfortable and they're in their ball gowns and all the things. And we're in the Claridge's Hotel and iconic London. And then Nikki just completely does Nikki things. Unashamed of his abilities.
100%.
Unashamed. And gets up on stage with Tom Holland and does this whole montage that was impromptu. And
yes.
Tom rolled with it and was amazing. And after that, people, like you said, were just, their smiles were wider. They were hugging each other. He got a standing ovation. It was definitely top 5 moments for me for ESP. I'm so glad you got to experience it. Why did you and Brittany, I mean, you've talked a little bit about your mission as a family and your mission with your faith and your business. As it relates to SEEABILITY, why a brand for ESP? You know, you see brands every single day. Why, as a board member, did you feel like this is something ESP should do? Why SEEABILITY?
When I look at ESP and I see all the great things they're doing, and I see the Miracle League, and I see ESP by the Sea, and I see Big Hearts, and I see Overnight Camp, and I see the expansion, I see a brand that needs to get its name out there so ESP can continue to expand. I see Java Joy in the hugs I get every time I'm here being in every major city. And if you don't have an ESP in your area and you don't have a community, not just the resources that help you, but a community of families who are all in locked arms working together to create a better place, I see SEEABILITY becoming a standalone brand where its participants are working there and they're helping with the design and they're helping with the product selection and they're helping with the logistics, and it's a full-fledged company within ESP that gives opportunity.
I love that. I you're such a visionary as it relates to SEEABILITY as well. And I think one thing people don't realize is that yes, we're raising funds, but a way for ESP to expand is to provide sustainable income that's going to give us a base of support for all of those programs that you just mentioned. And so people can shop at anywhere. They can shop for any brand, but when they shop at SEEABILITY, you have the opportunity to provide support to families for overnight camp, like the 10-year-old you talked about, for families to go to the beach for the very first time, for a child to do music therapy. When you shop SEEABILITY, you are helping us fund that. And that's the whole strategy behind SEEABILITY is shifting perspectives. It's starting conversations. There might be a donor out there that buys that polo that you're wearing and goes, I want to make an investment in building an overnight camp. I want to make an investment in bringing ESP to my community. And that's really what it's all about, is shifting perspectives and helping see what you see, which is a world that provides transformative experiences everywhere. That has an ESP in every major city. Okay. One last question, and maybe you've already answered it, but we ask everybody here at SEEABILITY, what is one thing that you've never seen but you wish you could see in this world?
Wow. Deep question to end it.
It is. Or it could just be a place you want to visit that you've never seen. You can take it however you want to take it.
I would love to see a world where one day, I'd love to see ESP in all 50 states. I'll start with that. So we did
like that.
I think that would be incredible. I would love to see ESP globally. I would love to have a day where we travel to London for an event, or we go somewhere and somebody sees this SEEABILITY shirt and they go, oh, I know SEEABILITY. In terms of places to see, I've been blessed. I've gotten to go to a lot of fun places, but I would love to see the south of France, if I'm just being honest.
There you go.
That would be a fun one. But I think a world where we're able to provide opportunities and growth for ESP, and if I'm able to help even just a little bit, that would make me happy.
Well, you're already doing that. And I'm just picturing you in the south of France at the airport wearing your SEEABILITY polo, and somebody walks up to you and says, I know SEEABILITY.
That would be a great day.
That's the day. That's the day. Well, Chris, thank you so much for spending time with us today. But not only today, thank you for continuing to invest and do your part. You could do a lot of things with your not so free time, and you choose to give it to places like ESP. And I'm just so thankful that you, Brittany, your girls are invested here, that you are creating transformative communities, not only in Athens, but in Rome and Savannah and Atlanta and the future cities to come. And I'm excited to build ESP in 50 states. So one day we're going to look back on this and remember when Chris saw that and when everyone has the chance to see it.
And now I'm going to brag on you, as I will speak for the board here and say thank you for everything you do as the visionary here. We see it. We acknowledge it. I've said multiple times, if I ever started another company, I would try and poach you as the CEO, because I think you are an unbelievable leader. I think you've rallied this community. You've rallied your employees. And I think it's incredible to see. Your leadership is second to none. And I just thank you for everything you do.
Thank you. Well, I only hope to be able to use my abilities to glorify God and serve those that don't have a voice. And I think we're doing that together. And I'm very thankful to have friends like you to be able to do it alongside with. So thank you so much for joining us today. If you were watching, would love for you to be a part of SEEABILITY and ESP. Make sure you like and subscribe. Don't forget to share a little bit more about SEEABILITY. Also follow Love Really Gray if you don't already. And SEEABILITY on Instagram. They're doing really, really amazing things. You might find something that you want to wear or something to buy.
And
a
comment
spouse.
if there's a product you'd love to see with SEEABILITY logo.
There you go.
Love to hear it.
I love that. If there's something you want to see the SEEABILITY logo on, comment, and we'll do our